naturally a hero in his own country. 4 years later, at the 52 Helsinki Olympics, he's going to try to repeat as the 10K, but also win the 5K. No track athlete in any country has ever won gold in the 10K and the 5K. Again, to make a long story short, he wins both. He wins a gold in both, sets a new world record in both. Okay, now he's not only a hero in his own country, he's an international track superstar. But then something crazy happened. One of his teammates suggested that he might enter the marathon. He's never run a competitive marathon, but I guess, you know, back in those days you could just enter it if you were a part of the team. I don't know how it worked, but when the gun goes off for the marathon, he's there. And being the great champion that he is, even though he's never run a competitive marathon, he figures, hey, I know who's favored to win. I'm going to pace myself off the guy who's favored to win. So they get, you know, they kind of get out in front a little bit. And this guy, the guy who was favored, realizes that Emil Zuteped's right on his tail. He's kind of figuring it all out. So he tries to pick up the pace a little bit, figuring, hey, he knows he's an inexperienced marathon runner, so I'll kind of show him a thing or two. Well, so Emil Zuteped's, you know, trying to figure it out. So he runs up next to him and he says, I'm guessing in broken English, hey, pace too fast, pace too fast. Because he realized that you can't keep the pace that they were keeping. The other guy looks at him and he says, no, pace too slow, and he gives a little burst. Well, this goes on like every 4 or 5 miles. Emil Zuteped, looking at as much, figuring out the pace, he tells this guy, hey, we're going to, by this time they had separated themselves from everybody else. And so Emil Zuteped said, hey, we're going to, and every time, every like 4 or 5 miles, he's telling them, we're going too fast. And every time the guy responded with a little burst saying, no, we're going too slow. So finally, one last time at like the 21 mile mark, something like that, Emil Zuteped runs up to him, one last time, and he says to him something a little different this time. He looks over and he says, hey, pace too slow, and he takes off and he wins the marathon and he sets a new world record. After the event was over, he's obviously being interviewed by the press. This is amazing, how did you do it? Tell us about how you train. He said, it's easy, I run and I run and I run. And then I run some more. He said, then I run till I can't take another step. Right? Thinking that's the end, right? That's how you train. You run and you run and you run, and you run till you can't take another step. He said, but then I start my workout. You know, when it comes to doing the right thing, when it comes to being committed to growing, you run and you do it every day. It's just part of who you become. And even when you get tired of doing it, then that's when you really start to get serious about being committed to something. When you feel like